Hey biddies, welcome back to my channel. You know it's your girl Bree back again with another video.
And pedicures, I'm always tip top. When they say I'm not hot, all these lies need to stop. Cause I'm icy, wifey, haters wanna fight me. Never been the one get RP up on a.
For today's video, I'm gonna be doing a quick little video on why I quit Sephora, how to get hired at Sephora, and all of that, like how my interview was. Let me go ahead and get right into it without like making the intro super long. I worked at Sephora last year. It was a seasonal position. I was product consultant. I worked at a Sephora inside JCPenney, so that might be a little bit different if you're trying to get hired or if your experience with Sephora as a company, if you were hired in like the freestanding stores, it might be a little bit different. So basically I was applying online. I put my application in, and prior to that I did go to makeup school. I did work at another like little makeup studio, which is like, it's like a big story time about that one. They basically played me. So I did have a little bit of experience in the makeup industry prior to applying, as well as I worked at Kohl's for like a couple weeks. I hated it. If y'all knew me when I was working at Kohl's, y'all know I hated it so much. Like I was like, I hope I get fired today every time I went to work. So basically I applied online. They called me in for an interview. I went in for the interview, and it was kind of weird, like for the JCPenney interview. So you know like how you watch like the How I Got Hired at Sephora videos on YouTube and all that. So mine was like typical How I Got Hired at Sephora interview process. So for the JCPenney position, I know they don't do this for the regular position, but for the JCPenney position, they interview you with even other positions that like in like women's clothing, men's, and stuff like that. There I was like all beat as fuck, like going into my interview with my portfolio and everything. That's another big thing too. If you guys want me to go in depth about like how to like get the job, like I'll show you guys, DM me, because like I could help you guys. Like when I went into my interview, it was with even like people that were interviewing for other things, and we played that typical like building block game, and that was basically it for the first interview. Like it was super quick, and then I was waiting and waiting. It took like probably like 3 days for them to call me back to go in for another interview. So because I know some people that were applying for Sephora didn't even get like the chance to interview for the second position for Sephora. They got offered like other positions or whatever, but this one they decided to call me back for the Sephora interview, and then I was all excited. I went, and then other people that were applying for the Sephora position also did get interviewed at the same time, but it wasn't a group interview, the second interview. So it was like all of us were there, but they were taking us like one by one, and I'm always late to everything. Like this is super bad. Like I need to change that habit, because I'm late to every school, every job, every interview, everything, every date, everything. I'm always late. So like obviously I was like the last one to pull up. I was the last one to get interviewed. But when they brought me in, I don't remember the specific questions that they asked, but it was like very typical like customer service jobs, because they are super retail focused. So they ask you a lot about like retail questions. I did ask about like makeup experience and stuff, and then I did show them I had like my letter of recommendation and all of that, my certificates and my portfolio, and they were like super impressed by that. And then I was like, oh well, I'm super friendly, because if you guys ever meet me in person, like I do not stop talking. I make friends basically with everyone I meet. Even like when I go to stores, like I talk to like the associates like if they're my friends. You really need to let your personality shine through the interview and like make you stick out of everyone else. So like I was just saying stuff like I'm really friendly, I make friends with everyone. I remember I was like, oh well, I'm a Virgo, I told them I was like, I'm really into like zodiac signs and stuff, and then the manager was like, oh my god, I love Virgos. And I was like, building that connection with the customer is very important, because like if you guys have ever like, if you guys are watching me, because I know I have a lot of like subscribers that come from like meeting at Sephora, meeting at MAC, you guys know that like I'm really good at building connections with people. Like I feel like that's really important, especially in like the beauty world. But yeah, that was how my interview went. It went super good. Like I was really positive about it, and then they called me like the next day and they told me I got the job, and it was all like super great. I loved working at Sephora, honestly. Like I really did. It was super cool. Like I said, I love working with people. Like I'm a people person, so I had like customers that will go to me and they'll be like, oh, I was having a bad day and you made my day so much better. But the reason why I quit, well, I do love Sephora. I still shop there. There's nothing wrong with Sephora, but it was just unfair, and like I'm not that type of person to like lie about something and then like kind of force you to get it if like it's not gonna work out for you. Like there was specific days where we would have to like sell just Urban Decay stuff, like meet our sales goal for Urban Decay and stuff like that. So like even if a customer came in with like super dry skin and was like, oh, I want a dewy setting spray, you would have to sell them an Urban Decay setting spray, and they do not have dewy setting sprays for Urban Decay. So that's what I didn't like, and we didn't make commission or anything, and I was only seasonal, so I didn't care about like all the sales goals. And I would tell people, I'd be like, oh well, like we're supposed to be selling this today, but girl, get this. Like I'm like super honest with that. Like I'm not into all of that. That's the only down part about working at Sephora, is that like sometimes they have like competitions and stuff like that, and like I don't know, I was always doing really good too, and I got like a hella feedback like on the surveys, because there'll be like surveys on the back that you had to circle or whatever, and people would always do surveys about me, and like I loved it. So like that was the good part about working there. Another bad thing is that when I applied and like when I got hired and everything, I was super excited about getting the little uniform, y'all know, the little Sephora uniform, but I didn't get it, like because I was seasonal. So I worked there last year from October to December, and I was gonna get hired permanent, but I quit because there was like also some drama going on. Like not drama, but like I could just tell when like people don't like me, and some of the coworkers were like I could tell they didn't like me, and like I feel like it had a lot to do with the survey things, because like I was pushing my surveys hella. I'm telling y'all, I would get hella surveys, and like even the people that were there for years wouldn't get like as many as I would, and like I felt like they would get kind of mad because like I would get rewarded for it, you know. So like, and then they were also it was a day where I was just fed up with everyone, and then they were like talking shit about like one of my friends that worked there, one of my coworkers that we got hired at the same time, and like I was like, they're acting like if I can't hear, and like I'm not the type to like confront people about anything. So I just like I told my friend about it, and she's the type to confront people, so she called the store and she was like telling them off and stuff like that, and I was just like, oh my god, like I was like, oh well, I don't care, because like I'm gonna quit, you know. So like that day I quit, and then I texted my manager. I was like, oh, I got hired at MAC, like I can't work here anymore, because once you start working at MAC, you can't work at Sephora, you can't work at any other beauty stores, just because of conflicts of interest. But Jamie's here. But yeah, basically also gratis, like I never received any gratis, I never received anything from Sephora. So like I felt like they kind of robbed, like I feel like my managers robbed my Sephora experience for me. Like I know some people that work at Sephora and they love it, they get gratis, they have their uniform and all of that, but I feel like I was robbed from my Sephora experience. But like it was so good at the time that I did work there, just because like I said, I do love people. Like I love people, and there was just so many people that I'll never forget working there. So many customers that like I may forget your name but I'll never forget like the conversation we had. I'll never forget like how you guys made me feel, because I really am that type of person. Like that means everything to me. So especially like going home after work, like after helping those people, like it just made me feel so like happy. Like I would even get emotional on my drive back. So yeah, that's basically why I quit. It wasn't anything like dramatic or anything. I just felt like I was robbed of my experience, and I got hired at MAC, so I couldn't do that. So yeah, if you guys want like a more in-depth tips and tricks how to get a makeup job, or like how to start off in the makeup industry, then please let me know down below. And also if you guys want to hear about my MAC story, how I got hired, and like all of that process, if you guys want to hear about like how to get hired at MAC and all of that, then please subscribe down below. See you guys in my next one. Do not forget to subscribe, do not forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all of that good stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.